been chosen to save our planet from an evil darkness and lead 7 pandas to reclaim the 7 mystical beams of power. Join us as we discover that good and evil isn't always black and white.
Of Industries, JazzHandz proudly sponsors our upcoming feature, Little Hot Finster. Ooh, goody, goody. My very own victim. Good afternoon and welcome back to JazzHandz podcast, where I will be interviewing one of Spectrum's longest running players and one of my former school assistants, the amazing Miss Caroline Heywood.
Hi, Jordan.
Hi, Caroline. Welcome to JazzHandz. How are you?
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Not too bad.
Good.
Welcome to JazzHandz. Can you believe it? You're our second to last guest.
Oh, gosh, no, I can't. I'm very happy to be here. Thank you.
Cannot believe it. For the first time in a few years, I can remember. Just before we start, well, Spectrum is actually the first time we've actually met since school because I remember you used to be my old teaching assistant in Y10.
That's
Those
right.
were the days. Yeah, I
Th-
mean, go ahead.
As I say, those were the days, weren't they?
Yes, they were. I mean, um, so yeah, what's it like leaving school and going back down memory lane by joining Spectrum, if you know what I mean?
Yeah, gosh, it's I guess when I look back and reflect, I think, gosh, so much has changed. Because like back then I was working in education. And then I went on to train to be a teacher. But then after that, I retrained. So I'm doing something completely different now. I'm working as a drama therapist. So I look back and I think, oh gosh, it seems like, yeah, a lot has changed since then.
Oh yes, great, great. That's what I like to hear. There's a lot. There's a lot. A lot has changed over the last 12 years. So, if you don't mind me asking, the first question, let me just get it up for a second. It won't be okay. Question one: what is your job title?
So my job title is I work as an eating disorders practitioner. So I work in the NHS and I work as part of CAMS, which is their community mental health service. So I work with young people who suffer from eating disorders or disordered eating. It's quite a broad title, but my training is in drama therapy, which is a type of creative therapist. So when I work with the young people, I get to use a lot of drama, a lot of art to try and help them to understand what's going on for them, maybe share some of the things that feel really difficult. And I do that with young people, sometimes with their families, sometimes with the young people on their own, and sometimes working in groups as well.
Great, great. I mean, well, I remember you did a lot. You did some drama in the Key Stage 4 unit. I remember that was the first time I actually met you. Um, do you think the impact of working at Bent's Green has rubbed off on working in your current job?
Yeah, that's such a good question. I think it has. And I think when I was working in Bent's Green and I could see the impact that drama was having on the young people, I thought, gosh, I can see that they're learning, but I can also see that there's other stuff happening as well. perhaps it was a way for them to be more confident or think about their feelings in a different way. So it was really that made me kind of become curious about drama therapy, and that really kind of sparked my interest in it, definitely.
Wow, I'm guessing everyone you know is very proud of you. I mean, it's taken a lot of steps. I mean, your first steps have been getting to know other people. I mean, Key Stage 4 was a bit tough, but getting to know you, you used to know a lot of people throughout you. 'Cause I know you left Bent Green School to go work at another school, and then you've been working for the NHS. So how long have you been a drama nurse, if you don't mind me asking?
So, oh gosh, let me think. I qualified 4 years ago. Actually, yeah, I think it might have been about 3.5 years ago that I qualified. So yeah, about 3.5 years.
Wow, that is fascinating. I mean, there's a lot to unpack. I mean, taking one step at a time. Now that's been a great journey for you. I mean, taking your first steps, keeping focus on the courses and stuff. That's really fascinating. That I mean, okay. So,
Thank
question
you.
two. Yeah, you're welcome. Question two. What has, well, what roles have you played at Spectrum, if you don't mind me asking?
So I played in one of their shows, which was A Christmas Carol. I played the Ghost of Christmas Past, and I really enjoyed that part. She was quite like a free spirit. She was a little bit of a hippie. I had this beautiful blonde wig that I really enjoyed wearing in this really nice floaty dress as well. So I loved getting in character for her. Another part that I played in Strike was I actually played Margaret Thatcher, which was a bit of a challenge for me. But I loved playing Margaret Thatcher, and I particularly loved it when I was on stage and the response from the audience. Um, I guess kind of I appreciate people have different political opinions, but a lot of the audience, let's say, I don't think they were fans of her. So I got quite a few boos as well. But I really enjoyed playing that role. In some of their other shows, so in someone else's shoes, I've played a variety of different characters, a quiz show host, a narrator. I've enjoyed all the characters that I've played in Spectrum.
Wow, wow, that's really great to hear. All those roles have really paid off. Learning about confidence, having perseverance, learning about different roles, taking your first step, and finally being open. That's real. That's really amazing. That very fascinating.
Thank you.
Um, I mean, well, here's my first voiceover gig. My first voiceover gig was a couple of projects down at my voluntary on London Road. I played a couple of, let's see now, I did a couple of vocal effects for this Jason Voorhees parody that one of my other classmates have done, and then I played a Bill Murray parody in this Halloween special. And then for Spectrum, my first role has to be, oh boy, in someone else's shoes. Wow, I
Yeah.
played what's his name now? Yeah, I enjoyed the first role, but Charles McCoby now in the oh yeah, in Shoes too, which we all enjoyed. Charles McCoby was like a real, I've never played someone the opposite of my heritage, like African. I mean, learning how to be because I gave up my stage fright just that then, but don't like bragging, but I'm always nervous, and I do get over it at the end of the plays. But when it comes to
Yeah.
rehearsing, here's a secret technique that I pretend I'm in an ADR looping group. So I pretend I'm working for my casting director, and I pretend that I'm recording a role. So that's one of the things why Spectrum's given me to learn how to, so theatre, well, not everyone starts off in theatre. I mean, a lot of people have had on-camera roles, haven't they, really?
Yeah, that's such a great technique that you described there. Because I remember when we spoke about stage fright and saying how common it is and something that we both experience.
Wow. Yeah. Okay, question four. What is, well, how long have you been at Spectrum, if you don't mind me asking?
So I've been at Spectrum since the start. Um, so that's, oh gosh, I'm trying to think how many years that would be. I feel like that's somewhere between probably 5 to 6 years. I should know. But it's been a long time since the beginning. I've been at Spectrum.
Wow. I mean, yeah, because the thing is, we meet up with a lot of people now. I mean, I know, I know it's a big step for everybody. I mean, for those that have been, having bit parts, but me having bit parts is kind of easier than having one large part. Because thing is, I would know. Because thing is, I know all about background because ADRing is like theatre playing is like ADR looping. And the thing is, when you play like so many minor characters like I've been playing, pretend that I'm in a loop group, which is very, experiencing. I know I repeat
Mm,
myself when it comes to that, but that's my long line dream. My long line dream, because when I pretended I wanted to be a chef, it was kind of a lie.
mm.
I'm not gonna be truthful there. I didn't really, I pretended to be a cook when it kind of was a bit, stressful. So I gave up that and I knew what I wanted to be. And thing is, a lot of the greats have been, cartoonists and stuff. Take, um, take Mel Blanc, for example. He's been doing a lot of Looney Tunes since the 1940s and then he passed away shortly in the late 80s. So that's that, I mean, he was the voice of Bugs for at least, um, 35 years, which is kind of very fascinating.
Yeah.
I mean, take Bart Simpson's cast member Nancy Gertrude. She's been playing the role of Bart since 1987. So that's
Wow. And she does a lot of the other characters as well, doesn't she?
yeah. I mean, she's been doing Ralph. She's been doing Nelson, um, Kearney, to name a few. I mean, Lincoln
Mm.
Sumner had that kind of experience when. Don't forget, Simpsons were part of the Tracy Ullman show back in the day, so that's one of the inspirations of how I got voiceover. So yeah. Okay, question five is um what has been oh what are you most looking forward to in Spectrum this year? Because I know everyone's been talking about the Christmas show, hasn't they? Because I know everyone's been excited for it. Me, I'm kind of in the middle here. I kind of don't know what to expect. But what are your thoughts on the Christmas show? Is that what you're most looking forward to?
I'm really looking forward to the Christmas show. I don't know if you remember, but I wasn't that well last year, so I sadly couldn't take part in it. And I really missed it. And it made me realize how important Spectrum was and how much I loved coming to rehearsals and being part of the Christmas show. So I can't wait to get back.
Great. Well, the Christmas show is going to be important. I mean, it's basically a modern take. It's set in Sheffield, so it's
Mm.
nothing like. But the thing is, the inspirations I got from the Christmas Carol were the. I don't suppose you were a Muppets fan.
I have seen the Muppets Christmas Carol, yeah.
Yeah, I'm more familiar with the Mickey Mouse Christmas special where Scrooge McDuck, who you may know from DuckTales, he takes on the role of Ebenezer. So,
Oh,
well,
do you know what? I think I might have seen that one a while ago now, but I think I might have done.
yeah, it's meant to be the 40th anniversary of that show. So, I mean, it came out when my sister
Wow.
was born. So, 'cause I'm the youngest. I'm the fourth youngest grandson in my family. So, yeah, but yeah, and I think me being a part of um Spectrum has, all of it has all of its advantages because the percentage of advantages is how people work out in the rules and stuff. But the thing is, learning about it, like rehearsing your lines, like I've done now, um, if you don't mind me doing a snippet at the end. But yeah, I mean,
Oh
there's
yeah.
so much that I've learned, because the thing is, my daughter, my beautiful, delicate angel, she'll be dancing with the stars. You might say she's the next Mariah Carey. I'll tell you what. Basically, I put a little Hank Hill in there for my first role. I wanted to use one of my characters from that I've already did for my one-man show. I wanted to add a bit of Hank Hill in there to make it Hank Hill-esque voice, so people would recognize a certain guy with propane. So I wanted to bring that into the role of the role of Jim. But yeah,
That
ad-libbing.
sounded really good.
I mean, ad-libbing can be a bit, can lead to bragging, but if there's one thing I've learned, bragging will not get you nowhere. And if you continue to do it, it will bite you. Well, let's just say your yin will bit your yang in the butt. That's all I can say. But yeah, I don't like bragging. It's kind of shameful. I mean, unless you're known on stage, that all I like to see is how everyone does. I mean,
Yeah.
it's all
And
about how
don't you
everyone.
think that Spectrum is all about that, isn't it? It's all about supporting each other and celebrating everyone.
Yeah, because learning about, because I had this conversation with Alice a few months back. I mean, learning about, diversity,
Mm,
relationships, and, their sexuality. Learning that people are non-binary, trans, autistic, Asperger's,
mm,
dyslexic, they're all important. I mean, take me, for example. I'm straight, but I learn about the LGBTQ community. I mean, a lot of people criticized um well, a lot of people criticized Lightyear and Strange World, which was kind of felt really bad for those movies. The thing is, they were box office bombs because of the relationship, not just because of the story. I think Strange World, especially because thing is, learning that one of the main characters is gay is actually, interesting to learn about, and to learn about the same sex lesbian relationship in Lightyear, which actually opens my eyes to learn what relationships are all about. And
mm.
if and same thing goes for the Mario movie. I know you haven't seen that, but take Princess Peach for example. Nobody has ever seen Princess Peach more hardcore than beautiful at the same time. Learning that not everybody needs a love interest, and I understand that. I chose not to have a relationship, and I'm choosing my career over having one. So it's each to their own, innit, really?
It is, yeah. I've not seen any of those films that you spoke about, but yeah, I do think kind of the work that Spectrum does to perhaps raise awareness or at least discussion around those topics, it feels really important.
Of course. Okay. Question 6. What are your hobbies outside of Spectrum, if you don't mind me asking?
So, oh well, it's difficult to have much time at the moment for hobbies because we moved house about a year and a half ago, and it's taken quite a lot of work. So we spend a lot of our weekends and free time doing DIY. But that's coming together, and that is something that I enjoy. I enjoy the designing side of it. But something that I do with my husband is on Mondays I go to dance classes and we do ballroom and Latin dancing together. That's something that I really enjoy.
Oh, you mean like the tango?
We can do the tango. Yeah, we're at a very basic level in all of them. We just go for fun, really. So we're kind of, it's not competitive, it's nothing like that. It's just something that we do to enjoy ourselves.
Right, no being competitive. But what about flamenco? Are you familiar with that flamenco?
Oh, do you know what I am? We've not done that one, but that would be great to do. I'm thinking of the
You-
flamenco dresses. They're brilliant.
Yeah, I mean it's better. It's kind of similar to Tango, even though it's a bit more complicated, but
Mm,
I won't go into that right now. But yeah, I mean, activities. So my hobbies are going for walks, because I walk like
mm,
3 times a week. I've lived in Shire Green for 6 years now, so it'll be 7 years in a couple of months. But um, I've lived in Shire Green for 6 years, 6.5 years. So I go for a walk in Concord. I go to walk down in Woolly Woods.
mm,
I even go to Hillsborough Park occasionally. So to do my triking. So at least I get a bit of exercise. And then my other hobbies are getting stuff done for my YouTube channel, which I'm actually going to be editing today. So at least I'll be able to get some stuff done. And then yeah, obviously this has been a hobby because do you think Spectrum's one of your hobbies?
definitely. Yeah. Would you say it's one of yours?
Heck yes. I mean, learning about it, but thing is, here's what I like to do every time I get started. I always think of a celebrity, do a lot of celebrity references, and that's what gets me into the mindset. It might not be everyone's taste, which I totally understand, but it does help me because instead of watching TV, I can pretend that celebrity is in the ballroom or I'm her assistant. I like to daydream, which is kind of, so that's why I can get a little distracted. But what does help me also is that I'm able to tell everyone the truth about things. So
Mm.
about my interests. I mean, there's so much going on, but yeah. So do you have any more interests you like to do besides ball dancing and here, of course. Do you have any other ones? Because I know
Well,
you said you like.
sorry, I do really like walking. When you said that, I thought, oh, I really enjoy walking as well. And I think one of the great things about Sheffield is there's so many parks.
Yep, there's Millhouses, Endcliffe,
Mm,
um, Forge Dam. I remember one time in White End. Did you ever go to Forge Dam with anyone?
I
You know,
did, yeah.
wow. I mean, a lot of staff members. Because thing is, here's what the girl's mum told me. Shelley. She told me that Bent's Green is now combined of two places. So Key Stage 3 part in the
Ah,
original area of
yes,
Bent
yeah,
Green, and then there's one in Gleedless. I mean, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of change since I left Post 16. I mean, for example, I know, not all. I'm guessing a few staff have retired there now, but yeah, not that it's any of my business, but do you still keep in touch with former staff members?
Um, not so much to be honest. There's a few that I do, but not that many. Um, I hope that they're all doing well because it was a really good place, wasn't it? I
Yeah,
certainly
I
enjoyed
mean,
working there.
yeah, I mean, a lot of teachers, a lot of students. May not have gotten along with everybody, but at least it's far through everyone's different perspectives.
Yeah.
Okay, um, so what are your goals for this year, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, so at the moment I'm doing a course through work. It's a postgraduate diploma in creative arts therapy supervision. So that means that when I complete it, I'll be able to supervise other therapists. I started the course in January, and all being well, I should finish it in December. So one of my goals for this year is definitely finishing that course. I
Wow,
think, thank you. I was going to say, I think also doing more with the house because we've got quite a lot to do. So it would be nice to get the house done as well.
wow, a lot of unpacking and designing. Do you have any blueprints?
Yeah, so we've got a few ideas. We've finished some of the rooms, but we've just got some more to finish. But what we're struggling with at the moment is we can't decide what colour to paint our living room. I don't know if you've got any ideas.
Oh boy, I was thinking, have you ever done mosaic? Well, not well. Have you ever done mosaic art before? Like mosaic. Like
I haven't done it myself, but I think I know what you mean.
yeah, it's like different shades of patterns and something.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of patterns, because there's colors like stripes, zigzag, uh,
yeah.
polka dots. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different kinds. So
So
yeah,
you
I mean,
thinking something quite bold with patterns? Is that the kind of
yeah,
design that you
yeah,
like? Yeah, that sounds
yeah.
good.
I wanted to paint my house in like a bluey green color. But I wanted to, but the thing
Mm,
is, I've not had a makeover in 6 years, so I might just leave my apartment as it is. So I mean, there's a lot to go on. I mean, ever since I moved here, I knew I was gonna. I knew for definite that I was going to settle in. So, but yeah,
that's
I
good.
mean, very fascinating. I mean, having ideas, it does take a bit of time. I mean, going back to your course. Did you say you said it was journalism? I never knew you could do a course for work starts at the beginning of the year rather than during the school
Mm,
year.
yeah, yeah. I guess that's quite unusual, isn't it? Because usually they do start in September, don't they?
Yep. Okay. So question. Okay. If you had a celebrity favorite, who would you want to meet and why?
I would love to meet Michelle Obama because I just think she's amazing. I've read her books, I've watched her Netflix documentary. I just think she's such an inspiring woman.
Wow. Okay. That's really fascinating. The first lady of former President Barack. Wow.
Yes.
I mean, they've done pretty well. I mean, it's a shame they had to be unelected, but I respect the decision. But if you had to pick a celebrity that was, on screen and stage, any celebrity, it
Ooh.
doesn't have to be film or television. It could be anyone from the theatre or from a soap opera, you name it.
Oh, that's a good question. Let me have a think. Who would I like to meet? Um, I'm thinking of an actor or an actress. Who came to my mind was Judi Dench, just because she's had such an amazing career and she's played so many roles. I think she'd be really interesting.
Oh, I mean, she recently had a recent TV commercial, which she was the boss of the CIA. I think it was some kind of broadband commercial. I think
Oh, yes, yeah.
she was on TV. She was on TV about a year ago. But yeah, I
Mm,
mean, she's doing good for her late 80s. I mean, um, take um Dame Maggie Smith or
yes,
Julie
yeah.
Andrews or well, Prunella Scales, even though she's retired
Mm,
now. But yeah, I mean, okay, I mean, there's a lot of voice actor favorites. I mean, some of them I've recently been doing research on even though I'm not a SpongeBob fan myself, Carolyn Lawrence, I have been doing a bit of observation on her. Realized she
mm.
was in Jimmy Neutron as Cindy. And yeah, I've been doing a lot of binge watching. I haven't been watching Paramount Plus, but I've been watching it on a free website, which you can stream all you want. I mean, Carolyn has done a well. She's one of the voice actors I haven't heard of in a while. But yeah, yeah. I mean, I have so many voice actor favorites. I mean,
Mm.
she's not technically a favorite, but I do like her. But going back to what you said about Judi Dench, I mean, what did you think to her in the James Bond?
Oh, she was fab in the James Bond films. I must admit, I'm not the biggest fan of James Bond films. I think they're okay, but I've not seen all of them. But yeah, I thought she was brilliant in those. Have you?
Yes, I have. I mean, I do like Spectre. I do like Die Another Day. But
Mm.
yeah, I'm not really the biggest fan of James Bond. Okay, so what made you want to do Spectrum, if you don't mind me asking?
So how I found out about Spectrum, it was a school that I was working at, and Andy started rehearsing at the school in the evening. So they said in a staff meeting, um, there's this theatre group that's starting up. They really want somebody just to kind of sit and make sure that the school is safe because their policy was that they'd need somebody from the school to be there whilst an external group was using it. So I like my hand shot up and I was like, I'd love to do it, but I don't really just want to sit. I want to like be part of it as well, if that's okay. Um, So that message was passed on, and that's how I met Andy and got involved in Spectrum.
Wow, that's really good. I mean, Alice told me that she was one of the later starters. I mean, you were one of the earlier ones.
Mm.
How proud do you feel that you've been here as your hobby and one of your passions? How proud do you feel that you have this passion?
Oh, incredibly. And I think, like we were saying earlier, it's not about individuals kind of boasting or bigging themselves up. I think it's when I think about people that have been part of Spectrum and can see kind of them grow as actors and their confidence grow. And some of them have gone on to do other things, and that's great. So when I think about what Spectrum has achieved and everyone that's been part of it, then I feel really proud.
Great, great. That's really great. That's really fascinating. Absolutely exquisite. I mean, learning about Spectrum is one thing. Getting to know people, now that's a bigger step. I mean, socializing with people your own age and the people, some people are younger. I think that's a real learning that treating everyone as an equal. That's really you know interesting. I mean, I've learned how to do that recently. But yeah, okay, final question. If you had something like a message for the young Caroline, what advice would you give her?
Oh, that's a really good question. I think I would say something along the lines of trust that everything happens for a reason. Because I know
Wow.
certainly when I was younger and growing up, there'd be things that would happen that would make me feel really sad. And I'd think, oh, why has that happened? And then something else has happened, and I've looked back and gone, oh, it's because something else was going to happen. So I guess that also fits into the idea of, as one door closes, another door opens.
That's a great lecture. That I mean, I don't like change myself, and that kind of gets me upset. But after a few
Mm,
hours, or when I sleep on it, that's when I learn and acknowledge that things don't go as planned. And thing is, I totally accept that. I mean, I would have never have come here, no thanks to, well, without any thanks to my sister. So I feel really
mm.
proud that I have like a semi-career. And but yeah, I mean, it's great that we have old friends to meet. I mean, me, Daniel Quinn, Matthew Bridger, a lot of people that used to go to Bent's Green. So yeah, that's really learning about who's been here and who's left and stuff. So that's really fascinating. Okay, just before we wrap this up, I'll give you a voice snippet of my upcoming feature.
Brilliant.
Ooh, my very own bedtime. Goody. Ooh. What do you think?
That was fantastic. Well done. I've never heard any of your voiceovers before. That was brilliant. It
Oh,
was
I do it for
as
my
if somebody
yeah.
else had got the mic.
Yeah, I'm impersonating one of my old shows from well, you may not have heard of it. I do a lot of shows that no people have actually heard of. But yeah, yeah, it's an upcoming animated feature well, it's a featurette which is going to be out in a couple of years' time. We're just in pre-production at the moment. So yeah, that'll be J to Love Industries' first official feature since I left Rotherham College because I left City College in 2017. It were too much, but then I came back to you know um, Rotherham College to learn about animation and stuff, and then that's how I've learned how to use Flipper Clip and stuff. So I really trust myself in learning my instincts.
That's
Okay,
great.
but yeah, it's great to have you on the show, Caroline.
Thank you very much.
I just wish, if there was something else that I needed to ask you, I will ask at Spectrum just before we start rehearsing. But yeah, I hope that this opportunity has given you, what we've all dreamed of. I'm guessing, if you had to pick Spectrum, would this be your dream hobby?
Absolutely. And thank you so much for having me as a guest on your podcast. It's been a pleasure.
You very welcome. And anyway, that's all we have time for. You take it easy, Caroline, and I hope to see you very soon.
You too. Take care.
Bye bye.
Bye.